Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to talk about making these pendants that I've got here. I've worked with round wire instead of my half round and square wire that I normally have worked with, and I thought I just wanted to show that you could use round wire to make a wrap like this instead of having to always have the specialty wire. This one, the smaller one, I've used 22 gauge for the main wrap, and this one I used 20 gauge because it's a bit bigger pendant, and I thought that the heavier wire worked a little better. So that's the finished product. This little pendant is a sea sediment jasper. It's just a beautiful little pendant with lots of color and design. It is two-sided and has a little hole at the top, so that was the purpose of the little swirl, to kind of cover up that hole. So let's get started. I've cut 4 pieces of 22 gauge wire, and I'm going to kind of line them up a bit, and we're going to do this bottom wrap down here first. So I've taken a piece of 26 gauge wire. I'm going to just establish where the middle is here, and my 26 gauge wire, and I'm going to bind this just to hold the bottom together. Always leave yourself at least 1 inch of wire on the opposite side to hold on to when you're wrapping, because it's really hard to wrap right to that very end. And if you are being real careful with your wire, not wanting to waste any, you can always rewrap that tail afterwards. See, you can just bring it around from the other side. So either way, it works best to have a nice long tail to work with. So we'll just give this a nice wrap of several wraps, not too skimpy, and take your nylon jaws and make sure that they stay without jumping over top of each other. You don't want that. So I've done quite a good number of wraps there. Make sure they're tight together. We'll go in and give them a little squeeze with the nylon jaws to get them nice and set. And then on my inside here, I'm going to cut away the excess. Just nip off that wire on both sides. And we'll just fold those down. With this fine wire, you can use your fingers, or if you prefer, you can just grab the nylon jaws or the chain nose and press that last bit down. It's being a little stubborn. Fingers probably work better. Chain nose to action here. There we go. Oh, it's still sticking out. Don't want those picky little pieces because they'll bother your skin. There, I got it that time. Okay, so that is the very bottom of my piece. Get my wires straightened out here. 2 of them have jumped. There we go. So we're going to just kind of shape it into the shape of the teardrop here. Teardrop works very well for this idea. You could use an oval as well. I'm going to leave just a bit bigger piece up there. The advantage of this nice fine wire is that you can handle it with your fingers. It's so malleable that you don't have to worry too much about having strong pliers to move it around. Okay, so I need another piece of my fine wire here. I'm going to use a fairly long piece here. Just keep this wire nice and smooth. So I've matched up these ends here, and they're flat, and I'm going to bind these flat ways. So I get this going here like this. Give it a good wrap. The finer the wire, the more wraps you need to use, otherwise it just won't hold. So then at the top here, I'm going to separate out all these wires, sort of where they're sitting, and divide them into groups of 3 and 2, because I need 2 for my bail, which will be these 2 now, and I'm going to use 3 on each side for decorating. So I'm going to take this piece of wire, my fine wire, and continue up this two that I decided were going to be the bail. And we'll just give them a nice wrap all the way up. Now here's a ideal chance to do a nice weave too, which I didn't do on my design, but it's certainly possible. So what I'm doing is to wrapping this round and round on these two here, and it's going to take a little while, so I'm going to stop the video and then I'll come back with it finished. Okay, I'm back. I've got this little piece all wound round and round. It does tend to twist a little bit on your, so you can take the nylon jaw pliers and just smooth it out as you go. So that's going to fold down into a bail for me, and you can just do that with your fingers, or you can roll it around a pen or something to get this nice bail, like will look something like that. And we'll tuck that in there. And then I'm going to finish off these little tails so that they're not in the way. They're going to get wrapped around. Oops, that one has to go this way. One goes this way and one goes this way. I'll take them to what we'll call the back side. This works, both sides are quite equal, so you just have to at some point establish which is your back and which is your front. And now I'm going to cut these off and tuck them in tightly. So we'll do a short cut. And my round nose pliers here to give that little tail a nice turn into the work. And this side. Never want to have those picky pieces on your skin. Okay, so now we're going to set up, we've got the 4 wires here, and we're going to set up one to go to the back and one to go to the front to hold the pendant in, and then the other 2 are going to sit along the side. So I'm just separating them out like this and give them a little bend out so that I can see where they are. And same on this side, we'll just separate them out like that. Then it's time to put the pendant in and get that little binding centered right at the very center there. So we'll get the pendant tucked in there, in between. And I'm just gonna bring these 2 wires that I've sorted out over top like that, and the one on turn to the other side and bring them in like that. Give it a nice little push with the fingers to make sure that everything's in nice and snug. Okay, so now what am I going to do with all these wires up here? I'm going to take these, I've got one side that's a bit longer, so I'm going to bring that through the bail. Like that, so that they're both on the same side. Take all the kinks out of that wire again. There we are. And I'm going to bring this one down first into a nice swirl to the back, and then these guys, we'll bring them down one at a time across to match up with that other one, so that we get a really nice big swirl here. And finally this one. So this is kind of how it starts, and then we're going to have to finish all these at the back. And I'll leave my last one, oops, the last one there is going to be the little curl at the end to finish where we've got the hole on the pendant. So these all get tucked to the back side. And I'm going to cut them off. Leaving just a nice little piece like that. We'll take the round pliers and turn those pieces in so that they don't pick the skin. Just a nice little turn. Keep them all together so that they look nice on the back as well. Because sometimes pendants flip, so you want everything to look nice on the back. There we go. Just turn them in nice like that. And then on the front here, I've left this last one here to do a nice little swirl. Grab at the very end of the plier and turn it around like that. And we'll just tidy that up a bit. Whoops. And I'm going to take that end bit and tuck it right into the hole of the pendant. Can you see there's the hole is right there? And that will stabilize it. Oops. Sometimes they argue. There we go, in that hole. There. Get this nice swirl. Here we are. Finished pendant. Isn't that beautiful? That would look so nice on a silver chain, or again on a nice black cord. Looks good too. Or you can match some of the colors in here. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.